Total silence, please. Don't let your shadow touch the armrests yet. We haven't established the chair's current narrative density, and Bendor is feeling emotionally volatile this morning. I've already seen a bar stool try to elope with a laundry basket in the West Wing. We don't need a wingback developing an ego. 9.9 Hertz. Perfectly synchronized with the deep found valve. Notice the way the light seems to die when it hits the velvet. That's not a shadow. It's a localized gravitational dip. Bendor doesn't just want you to sit. He wants your center of gravity to become his. Protocol 402, the Common Wingback. To the uninitiated wanderer, it looks like a respite from the glacial scar. It smells of expensive leather, aged brandy, and, if it's really trying to lure you in, your own grandmother's parlor. It is an olfactory trap designed to bypass your logical defenses. But look at the stitching through a 16-dimensional lens. See those vibrating filaments? Those aren't springs providing lumbar support. They're velvet cilia. Each one is a microscopic sensory organ tuned to the frequency of a resting heartbeat. These chairs aren't here to support your spine. They're here to harvest your secrets. If you sit down with a heavy heart, you're not getting back up until you're empty. Welcome to The Living Ledger. I'm Silas Shadowwhisper, head of Tavern Integrity. And today, we're auditing the trap of comfort.
February is the month of the amorous adhesive. It is a season where the tavern experiences a metabolic surge known as the humidity of affection. As the heart ice of winter thaws, the building's core grows, needy. It seeks to anchor itself to the lives of those it shelters. The hugging chair utilizes a byproduct of my own ninth resonance, resonant mucilage. On a molecular level, the chair performs a handshake with your garments. This is not a simple stickiness like sap or honey. It is a covalent narrative. The chair psionically instructs your atoms to interlock fingers with its own. It doesn't want to eat your flesh. It wants to own your history. I feel the chair's hunger as a phantom pressure behind my horns, a craving for stability through attachment.
Precisely, Proprietor. My surveys show that the cilia detect narrative vibrations. The wood grain acts as a recording medium. The better the story you tell while sitting, the tighter the bond becomes. If you start a 3-part epic about a dragon hoard or a lost love, the mucilage hardens into a structural weld. You aren't getting up until the epilogue, or until the tavern has finished reading your soul.
It is a biological hoarding instinct manifested as furniture. It views a patron not as a customer, but as a legacy asset. In the Tipsy Mimic, a chair is never just a tool. It is a witness that refuses to let its evidence walk out the door. It is the ultimate social predator, feeding on the resonance of shared experiences.
You lot think the mimics are all teeth and spite. Honestly, sometimes they're just lonely. And a lonely building is a dangerous thing for a man with a deadline. I remember a tax auditor named Reginald Pym, proper cold logic type, sharp suit, no sense of humor, and a ledger that smelled of clinical depression. Reginald sat down in Old Dusty, that's the big wingback in the northwest corner, to count our floorboards for the annual property tax. Reginald started out trying to measure the chair's legs with a brass ruler. By the second hour, the chair had adjusted its lumbar support to fit his exact posture. Old Dusty didn't like being counted. It decided Reginald needed a narrative intervention. For 3 days, that chair wouldn't let go. It didn't bite him. It massaged his lower back so effectively that he forgot how to hold a grudge. The walls sprouted tiny crumb vines that fed him Maury's artisan sourdough, warmed to exactly 98 degrees, and a nearby footstool kept his circulation going by gently tapping his heels. By day 4, Reginald burst into tears. He confessed to the rafters that he hated math and only became an auditor because his father didn't believe in cobbling. Old Dusty let him go the second he admitted he just wanted to make shoes. We still have his suit, though. It fused with the velvet when he tried to stand up too fast. If you sit there now, you can still feel a faint, phantom urge to check your arithmetic or a sudden, inexplicable desire to stitch leather.
To survive the Amethyst Gala, one must be as vigilant as the building itself. If you find yourself in the grip of affirmation, follow these authorized protocols. 1. The iron test. Never sit without first touching the upholstery with cold iron. If the velvet flinches or the wood emits a low-frequency purr, find a stool. Stools are too simple to have feelings. They are the only safe logic in the Grand Hall. 2. The secret ransom. If caught, do not struggle. The amorous adhesive feeds on kinetic panic. The more you wiggle, the faster the molecular bond sets. Instead, lean back, relax your breathing, and share a secret you've never told a living soul. The chair will find the narrative data satiating and release its grip to process the information. 3. The solvent of indifference. Always carry a vial of apathy oil. Sprinkling it on the armrests tells the chair's molecules that your story is mathematically inconsistent and fundamentally boring. The chair will let go out of pure professional disappointment.
And for the love of all that is Euclidean, if the chair starts humming in a language you don't speak, you have 3 seconds to recite a nursery rhyme, or the adhesive will reach your marrow.
Measure thrice, act once, and for cunning's sake, don't tell the furniture anything you aren't prepared to see archived in the Great Ledger.
Draco, the wingback in your private study is humming "A Year Inside the Beast" again. And I think it's wearing your spare duster. Should I get the chisel or the apathy oil?
Let it keep the coat, Silas. It has better posture than the last paladin we hosted, and it doesn't complain about the draft. Besides, it's the only thing in this building that listens to the lyrics.